Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Another Fat Guy Cooks. I'm your fat guy, Andy Baker, and today we are going to be making Jerusalem artichoke winter soup or Fartichoke soup. Let's go. Okay, so if you've watched a few of my episodes before, you will know that occasionally I will do an episode where I don't practice the dish 2 or 3 times before I make it for the show, and I just decide to do it for the first time in front of you guys and we see what happens. This is one of those episodes. So good luck to us. Well, good luck to us. We'll see what happens. Right, so Jerusalem artichokes are a root vegetable that grows underground in the dirt and is well known to give you chronic diarrhea and gas, because it has a thing in it called inulin, which is a non-digestible starch that lives in your tum-tum. And then what happens is, because you can't digest it, it produces shitloads of bacteria, which all the little bacteria do all tiny little bacteria farts, and then basically that fills you up and you fart and shit and die. You don't die, you have a bad time. To stop that from happening, you just have to cook it for either a long time, soak it, like I'm doing, or like soak it in lime juice or lemon juice or an acid, because that then turns the inulin into glucose, which is fine because, you know, that's sugar. So yeah, so we've done those things. What I've done is I've soaked this. So right, so these are soaking Jerusalem artichokes. This is a bucket of non-soaked ones that came out of the garden. I mean, look at these fuckers. They're like mental. So I spent all night last night shaving them down and making them look fairly reasonable and cleaning all the dirt off them so that we can use them nice and easily today. So you've got to do all that too if you ever do it, which you probably shouldn't because it's a pain in the arse. Okay, so Jerusalem artichoke soup. First thing we need to do is, like pretty much every other dish in the world, chop an onion. We need to chop an onion. Okay, 1 large onion. Standard onion chopping. Take the bit off that's not got the knot in it. Take off all his onion clothes until he's naked. I don't know if I've ever done the like how to properly chop an onion thing before, so we'll do it now. While we're doing this, we're just going to get our pan onto medium. And we're just going to get some oil heating up. Just a nice little splash of oil. Okay, so you leave the knot on. You take the flappy bit at the top off and you peel it. Go through the knot and chop him in half. So you have 2 onions. And then long ways like this with a very sharp knife, you're just going to make slits about, I don't know, 10 mil apart, something like that. Like so. So you're going to slit it that way. And you can also, to make it even better, do another slit this way, which is a bit harder and you might cut yourself, but it does give you a bit of a better slice on your onion. And then once you've done that, just go from the start here and just go down your onion. All the way to the end, and that little end bit you can just throw away. And then you end up with a nice, perfectly diced onion. And why do they call it dicing? Because you end up with little cubes that look like dice. Right? Yeah, we'll do both. I imagine you know all of this shit, because if you watch my video, I assume it's more than likely you also watch other cooking videos. And like this is the #1 thing that people do as an explainer video when they've got nothing else to talk about. So we're going to take our onion, throw it into our oil. And we're just going to cook that until it is nice and translucent. We don't want to like brown it, like fry it. You know, we don't really want to like make it super caramelizey, because it will knock off the colour of our soup. So we'll turn this up a little. And we're just gonna fry those onions off. Next, we're gonna get our Jerusalem artichokes. Now, believe it or not, I grew these in my garden. Well, my dad grew these in my garden, but they're a bit of a problem, Jerusalem artichokes, because they tend to like spread their roots and take over other vegetable patches, like under the false pretense of those vegetables attacking them, and just spread over the entire garden, pissing everyone on. I see what I did? It's a joke. I was actually in the garden the other day picking these artichokes, and one of them was a little bit upset because one of the carrots had thrown a stone at it, and obviously then the Jerusalem artichoke responded by nuking the carrot. Again, that didn't happen. Jerusalem artichokes and carrots, neither of which are sentient or capable of those things. It was a stupid joke. Probably one I shouldn't tell. Again, I'll leave that up to Carl. Carl's not actually here today. Carl's back home in Manchester. I'm going round to his house tomorrow, and we are going to do some recording then. But I'm all alone again, on my own. Right, so we're going to get... okay, 1 onion, 500 grams of Jerusalem artichokes, and we are going to cut them nice and thin, because we are going to boil them, and the thinner they are, the easier and quicker they will boil, and the more of the inulin that will come out of them and be processed into glucose, which will then make them less fartichoke. See that like big chunky one there? I want to make sure that we're not leaving any really massive thick chunks. We could do a little time lapse here, Carl, because this is going to take me a minute. Starting to wonder if this pot's going to be big enough. If you didn't know, about this time last year, we grew these last year. But I didn't do my research, and I basically just like got a load of them and cooked them like potatoes, made like a mashed potato-y kind of thing out of them, and ate an absolute shitload of it. It was delicious, because they're kind of like really silky, earthy potatoes, but like slightly different, but they're really good. But because I didn't do any of the soaking them or lemon juice, or you know when you get those stomach cramps that like literally fold you in half and cause you to just turn into just a ball of agony that like you know you have to shit, but it's not going to come yet because the punishment isn't over. Yeah, it was that. For like 2 days. It was unpleasant. I mean, I have problems anyway, so you know, if that doesn't deserve a cocktail, I don't know what does. Oh, okay. Blood Orange Gordon's gin and lemonade. Delicious. Okay, so our onions are nice and translucent and cooked. Now we're going to dump in here 800 millilitres of chicken stock.
Huh.
Are you seeing this too? To me this looks like this pan is not going to be anywhere near big. Okay, so into here now we are going to throw our 500 grams of fartichokes. This pan is not big enough, as you can see, but I think it just might do the job. Okay. It's not bad actually. I think we'll be okay. Okay, so we have our 500 grams of artichokes, 800 millilitres of chicken stock, onion, and a bit of oil and whatever. And we're going to leave that to boil until the artichokes are nice and soft. And then once that's done, we're going to come back, blend it all together and make our soup. So I will be right back. For me, it's going to be half an hour. For you, it will be now. Okay, we are back and our Fartichoke soup has been boiling for about half an hour. As you can see, our Fartichokes are now like super squidgy and just, ooh, that's tasty, and just fall apart, which is what we want. So now we need a blender. Okay, so blender or food processor or whatever. There we go. It is clean on the inside. It's a bit grim on the outside, but it's like me. Now I'm grim on the inside and the outside, to be perfectly honest. Right, so we're going to take our Fartichoke soup and put it in our blender, or our, because this is just going to go in super easy with no stress and not make a mess. Holy shit, I was actually correct. Don't you just turn on, off. These things need like a safety, like on a fucking gun. We're gonna add some cream to it, to cream it up a bit, which is obviously to make it nice and just like a fatty, nice, thick, tasty, sort of luxurious summer soupy vibe to it. So we're just gonna add a little bit of cream. I don't know. Cream. Not loads, just a little bit. And we're also gonna add some roasted walnuts because they add a really nice, hearty, earthy, deep little taste to it, apparently. I've not tried this before, never done this before. Read about it, never made it. I'm meant to add about 50 grams of these, I think. So normally what happens is I'll pick a dish, I'll make it 2 or 3 times myself, figure out my own recipe for it, and then I'll show it you guys. This time, I've just read about this online and made it from their recipe. So this is like, not, you know, there's no sort of thought into this. I've just copied a recipe, but it's good. I'll put a shout out to, I can't remember where it's from, but I'll put a link to the actual proper recipe in the description. Okay. So, we have our soup, we have our mushy fartichokes and onions and stuff in here, and we're just going to give it a blend! Okay, that should do it. Okay, gonna get a bowl. Take the lid off and have a, ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god. It smells divine. And we're gonna pour ourselves a nice bowl of Fartichoke soup. It's incredibly like thick and like velvety. Right, just to finish it off, a little sprinkle of sea salt. Little sprinkle of thyme, maybe a little bit more. And a tiny little drizzle of cream. And there you have it, Fartichoke soup. Beautiful, warm, winter soup that if you prepare it properly, should not give you violent diarrhea. Okay, let's give it a go. Again, first time I'm trying this too, so. Oh my god. It's decadent. Like, I don't usually use words like that, but it is fucking decadent. It is just so silky and smooth. Oh my god. That's amazing. And again, not my recipe, so no props to me. I just made it. I'll again put the link for the recipe in the description. Oh my god, that is so good. I am probably going to eat all that. And hopefully not shit myself to death. Right, we did it! Jerusalem artichoke soup, or Fartichoke soup. Absolutely amazing tasting. Really, really is. I've been Andy Baker. This has been another Fat Guy Cooks. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AFGC. £3 a month, or maybe £2 a month, I don't know, and a small amount of money a month. And there'll be some photos on there, probably, and some stuff to look at. Might even put some dick pics on there, who knows. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Another fat guy cooks.